Okay, so this one's interesting. It's called Your Mind is Everything.
Yeah, from English Stories Academy on YouTube. Really makes you think right from the title.
It does. It feels like it's going to be about like achieving goals and all that kind of, living a more fulfilling life stuff.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to deep dive into that. For those of you who want to get to the core of things quickly and effectively, that's what we're here for.
And efficiently. Yeah. Get right to the good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much packed into this video. We've got mindset, developing skills, facing fears, and then like the distractions, like how to deal with all that.
Right. And it even gets into like the people around you and how they impact your journey
Yeah.
and taking ownership of your own life.
It's a lot. So, our mission here is to kind of like weave all of that together into something practical, something
Yeah.
you can actually think about and use, today.
Totally. Make it actionable.
Okay. So, the video starts out with this pretty bold statement. Your mind is everything.
Yeah. Big statement. But it gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It does. And it's not just about like thinking positive,
Yeah,
right? It's deeper than that.
It's about believing in yourself, really believing you can achieve what you set out to do. The video says when you decide that you can do something, there's no stopping you. And there's a lot of research backing that up. Like the whole concept of self-efficacy, it shows that your belief in yourself directly affects how much effort you put into something and how you bounce back from setbacks.
Interesting. So it's like a self-fulfilling thing. If you believe it, it's more likely to happen.
Exactly. It's not just wishful thinking.
Okay, but then the video throws in this curveball. It's like, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right. Sounds kind of counterintuitive,
Yeah.
right?
Like, who wants to be uncomfortable?
But think about it like a professional athlete. They're constantly pushing their limits, right? Training in ways that are really tough, both physically and mentally. And that discomfort, that's what helps them grow and improve.
That's a good analogy. Like, you don't get stronger by just doing the same easy workout over and over. You have to push yourself.
Exactly. And it's the same with anything you want to achieve in life, whether it's learning a new language, taking on a challenging project at work, or building stronger relationships. All of those things require you to step outside of your comfort zone.
So true. So I guess the takeaway there is that growth comes from pushing those boundaries.
Totally. And you know what comes after that in the video? It talks about developing new skills.
Yeah, and I like how it frames that. It's like having tools in your toolbox to handle whatever life throws at you.
Yeah, that's a great image. So like if your goal is to be more fluent in English or get that promotion or spend more time on your passion project, each new skill you learn is like adding a new tool to your toolbox to help you get there.
Makes sense. And it's not just about like formal education either.
No, definitely not. They talk about this example of a friend who learned self-love and independence after leaving a really tough relationship. Right. So skills can come from life experiences too, like learning to be more resilient, navigating relationships, or even just taking care of yourself. These are all skills that you develop over time.
That makes you think about like what skills do you need right now in your own life?
For sure. So for you listening, what's missing from your toolbox? What skills would really help you reach your goals?
Maybe it's confidence to speak up more, or better communication skills in general, or even just like time management.
Yeah, exactly. The video's saying, don't wait, start developing those skills now.
So true. All right, moving on. Next step is facing our fears. I mean, everyone's got those, right?
Absolutely. Everyone has fears.
In the video, the speaker talks about overcoming shyness by making a point of talking to strangers and then realizing that the fear wasn't really as big as it seemed in their head.
I can relate to that. It's so easy for our fears to just like blow up in our minds, you know?
Totally. It's like that saying, fear is often bigger in anticipation than in reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the video gives us this great takeaway. Every time you face a fear, it becomes smaller. So it's about turning towards the things that scare you instead of running away.
Yeah.
Each time you do it, it gets a little easier.
Yeah, like working out a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And not only does that specific fear get smaller, but you also gain this confidence. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I did that. I can handle other challenges too.
Okay. Now let's talk about something that I think is super relevant today. Letting go of perfectionism and dealing with all those distractions that are always around us. The video doesn't hold back. It straight up says, perfection is a trap.
It's so true. It's so easy to get caught up in trying to make everything perfect, and then you end up not doing anything at all. It's like you're so focused on the tiny details that you never actually launch that project or take that first step.
And then, of course, there's the whole social media thing. I mean, the video is pretty blunt about it. It's like, social media is stealing your time and focus. Social media is not your friend.
Strong words, but it's hard to argue with that. It's so easy to get sucked into that endless scroll, constantly comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're not good enough. And there's actually a lot of research that shows how too much social media can make you feel more anxious, depressed, and lonely.
Makes sense. We're constantly bombarded with these, like, curated, perfect versions of everyone's lives.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's just the sheer amount of time we waste on it. Think about all the things you could be doing to reach your goals if you weren't scrolling through Instagram or TikTok.
That's a good point. So the message is clear. Set some boundaries with social media. Reclaim your time and focus on what really matters.
Absolutely. It's about taking control.
Okay. Now, this next topic can be tough, but it's important. Cutting toxic people out of your life. Again, the video is pretty direct. It says, not everyone in your life is good for you. It talks about how toxic people can hold you back, drain your energy, and make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, and it's not always like they're intentionally trying to be hurtful. Sometimes it's just their negativity, lack of support, or constant criticism that brings you down.
Right, and the video points out this really interesting thing. Sometimes people might actually try to keep you down to their level, even if they don't realize it. It's like they're threatened by your growth.
And it takes a lot of self-awareness to recognize those kinds of relationships and have the courage to set boundaries or even walk away.
Yeah, for sure. Because surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people is so important. You need people who will celebrate your wins, offer encouragement when things are tough, and genuinely want to see you succeed.
Absolutely. Okay, now brace yourself for this next point. It's pretty powerful and maybe a little harsh. The video says, straight up, no one is coming to save you.
Wow.
I know, right? It's like a wake-up call. It's about taking full responsibility for your own life. You can't just sit around and wait for someone else to fix things or give you what you want.
It is kind of a tough message, but it's also empowering in a way, right?
It is. It puts you in the driver's seat. You have the power to create the life you want.
And then the video does this really interesting thing. It has you think about your parents,
Oh, yeah.
like their struggles, their dreams, the sacrifices they made.
And how that should motivate you to pursue your own potential and not waste what they gave you.
It's like honoring them by living your best life.
It is. It adds a whole other dimension to the idea of personal responsibility.
So what comes next?
Okay, next up is something we all struggle with from time to time. Self-doubt. The video's message is clear. Stop saying I'm not good enough. It basically calls that out as a fear-based excuse that keeps people stuck.
It is so easy to fall into that trap, right?
Totally. But the video reminds us that everyone starts somewhere. Even the most successful people had to overcome self-doubt. It's part of the process.
That's a good reminder. And along those lines, the video also talks about the importance of embracing change.
Yeah, because if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results, right?
Makes sense. So to grow, you have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and try new things.
Totally.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about the future. The video emphasizes the importance of having a long-term vision. Like, where do you want to be in 5, 10, even 20 years?
Right. But it's not enough to just dream about it.
Right.
You have to take action.
Yeah, the video is big on that. It says the right time to start is now.
Like, don't wait for the perfect moment. Just go for it.
And it talks about how when you really commit to something, there's this feeling that, like, ignites inside you. It's like this deep sense of purpose.
Like you're finally on the right path.
And it also talks about how you're going to face challenges along the way. But those challenges are like stepping stones, helping you become a stronger and better version of yourself.
Challenges are inevitable. It's how you respond to them that matters.
Okay, so this next point can be freeing for a lot of people. The video says you can't change everyone.
Right. It's about realizing that you can't control other people, and trying to do so will only lead to frustration.
Exactly. It's like a waste of energy. Most people are so focused on their own lives and their own problems that they're not really thinking about you as much as you might think.
Yeah. And the video also points out that sometimes when people judge you or try to hold you back, it's more about them and their own insecurities than it is about you.
It's like their own baggage is getting in the way.
Exactly. So stop seeking validation from people who don't get you or support your goals. Focus on your own path.
Good advice. All right, let's talk about something a little more practical now. Financial independence. The video is very clear about this. Your financial freedom is your responsibility.
It's a powerful statement. You can't rely on someone else to make you financially secure.
And it encourages you to start thinking beyond the traditional 9-to-5 job and exploring other options.
Like starting a business, constantly learning new skills, investing.
It's about creating choices and having the freedom to live life on your own terms.
Exactly. Financial independence gives you more control over your time and your life in general.
Okay, so the video then gets into the topic of friendships.
Yeah, how to tell the real ones from the fake ones.
Right. It describes real friends as those who are truly supportive, who celebrate your wins with you, and are there for you when things are tough.
And fake friends are those who only show up for the good times and maybe even make you feel bad for trying to improve yourself.
Yeah. The message is to cut out the fake friends and focus on building relationships with people who genuinely care about you and support your growth.
Because life is too short to spend it with people who bring you down.
So true. All right, so now we get to this really powerful analogy. The video says, if you want to fly, you need to fight and you need to walk.
It's like a call to action, right?
It is. It's a reminder that achieving your dreams takes both effort and consistency. You have to be willing to fight for what you want and put in the work day after day.
It's about having both the vision and the dedication to make it happen.
And that leads into the next point, which is the importance of establishing a success-oriented routine.
Yeah, because having a routine can make a huge difference in achieving your goals.
The video argues that a lack of routine is a major reason why people fail.
Makes sense. Without a structure, it's easy to get sidetracked and lose focus.
So the video suggests starting your day with intention, planning out your tasks, and incorporating productive habits like exercise, reading, or even meditation.
And the key is to stick to it, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building that momentum.
All right. Next up is something that can be challenging but so important: developing a learning mindset. The video sums it up like this: realize you know nothing.
Humility is key, right?
Yeah, it's about acknowledging that you don't have all the answers and being open to learning from others.
Because there's always something new to discover. The video encourages you to learn from people who have already achieved what you want. Read their books, watch their videos, talk to them if you can.
It's about being a lifelong learner.
Exactly. And the video also points out that being willing to learn is a strength, not a weakness.
It shows that you're adaptable and always looking for ways to improve.
For sure.
Okay, so another tough message coming up. Laziness will destroy your life.
No sugarcoating there. It's about pushing through those times when you feel tired or unmotivated.
Because success comes from doing the things that other people aren't willing to do.
Exactly. It's about discipline and perseverance.
And finally, the video addresses the elephant in the room: failure.
It's something we all try to avoid, but it's inevitable.
And the video encourages you to embrace it.
Yeah, because failure is a learning opportunity. It's not the end of the world.
It's about getting back up, learning from your mistakes, and trying again.
And often, those failures lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
So true. And the video ends on this really inspiring note. It says, win for yourself, for your parents, for your society.
It's about recognizing that your success can have a ripple effect.
It can inspire others and maybe even make the world a better place.
It's about believing in your own power to make a difference.
So there you have it. The key message from Your Mind is Everything is that you have the power to control your life and achieve your goals.
It's about cultivating a growth mindset, developing your skills, facing your fears, and taking consistent action.
It's about taking responsibility for your own journey and not letting distractions or negativity hold you back.
And it's about surrounding yourself with supportive people who believe in you.
So, with all of that in mind, here's a question for you to think about. What's the one idea from this deep dive that really resonates with you? What's the one small step you can take today to start putting that idea into action? Think about it, and we'll be back soon with another deep dive.